It's finally time to learn the dark, twisted origins of Ark M. We've seen the monsters that run this place, and we've seen the monsters they can create. But how could such a terrible place be allowed to exist for so long? Let's find out. These are the writings of Dr. Amadeus Arkham. They serve as a chronicle of this infamous place that bears my name, Arkham Asylum. Yet this book is also other things. It is my confession. It holds secrets I will take with me to my grave. It is also a warning about the terrible evil I have unleashed upon this world, and a plea that you, reader, stop it before it's too late. And we start in Arkham Asylum, 1945, where someone is here to buy the place from Amadeus, and the doctor is clearly ready to let this place go. But before they get this deal done, this man is stopped by a picture of an unknown woman, and Amadeus lets him know that is in fact his mother, and that all of this begins with her, as we go further back in time. As he explains, my father fought for the Union. My first memories are of my mother standing watch at our front window, awaiting his return. Lee had surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse, you see, and my father was long past due. The waiting had taken its toll on my mother. It had taken its toll on me. But this night would be different. This night, the dark silhouette of a Union soldier marched up our walk. It was him, my mother exclaimed. After all this time, father was home. Or so we thought. We quickly realized the soldier at the door was not my father. The letter he handed my mother would explain everything he said, and so it did. It came from the newly installed President Johnson, informing us that father had been killed at the Battle of Palmito Ranch. Ironically, a battle fought after Lee's surrender, meaning my father died in a pointless battle. It was all too much for my mother to take. The soldier, to his credit, tried to console her, but she had other ideas. As Amadeus' mother takes the soldier's gun and murders him, shooting him right in the head. And things go from bad to worse as he continues. As the soldier's blood started to pool at our doorstep, my mother looked over the faces of my siblings and proceeded to execute them one by one. But when she came to me, she paused and turned the gun on herself instead. Why she chose to spare me that day, I will never know. His mother snapped and killed his entire family, including herself, right in front of him. In a matter of moments, Amadeus was an orphan. As he continues, but the incident would shape my life. From when I first arrived at the Elliott Gotham City Orphanage as a scared little boy, to the day I emerged from its doors, a confident young man with nothing more than the clothes on my back and a dream. A dream to help people like my mother. A dream to build a place where people such as her could get the care they needed, where the best science of the day would be applied to treat the mind's afflictions, so the tragedy that befell me could be prevented. A place I would call Arkham Asylum. With money given to me by the Elliott Family Foundation, I would purchase the land where my dream would come to fruition. Cheap land with a past of its own, granted due to it being where the British kept colonial prisoners of war during the Revolution, where there was much abuse and loss of life. A place other Gothamites said was haunted from the start, soaked in blood and madness. Still, none of that mattered to me. Not as long as some good could come of it. In the beginning, Arkham was everything I wanted it to be. A good facility with a full staff of like-minded individuals, getting patients the help they so desperately needed. Even those patients who, with Gotham being Gotham, were a bit more in need, shall we say, with people looking like absolute villains. My mother would be proud, I believed. That said, Arkham was not without its issues in those initial years. One issue in particular, a man so vile and heinous I will not even utter his name. Let's call him Jack Doe for the purpose of this journal. By the time he was sent to us, Jack had murdered multiple people, men, women, children, and soon after his arrival, he killed 2 nurses and disemboweled another prisoner. He took glee in killing. He was always laughing, a horrible grin on his face. He was the type of inmate that threatened the very existence of Arkham, and so he became the patient I was most determined to help. As Amadeus and this man continued to take a tour around Arkham Asylum, and he's trying to figure out why Arkham is no longer this prestigious place it used to be. As Amadeus tells him, fewer and fewer patients for one thing, fancier and more modern facilities sponsored by the Lazarus Corps in Metropolis and elsewhere for another. Of course, the Lazarus Corps is one of the reasons this place is cooked. The truth is, this place would have had to close years ago if not for the kindness of benefactors such as yourself. Although this man tried to stay anonymous, Amadeus knows he's one of the reasons this place is still open. He was never going to hand this place over to someone he knew nothing about. As the guy explains, I've seen up close the suffering caused by conditions of the mind, and I feel it's our duty to find cures so that younger generations never have to contend with them. Our children deserve a better future. Do you have children, doctor? As we see a look of terror on Amadeus' face, and he says, children? No, I never had any children. But this was technically a lie. As we go back in the past, 1885, it was raining the night he arrived, covered in blood. So much blood, even the rain couldn't wash it away. How did he get that way? Whose blood was it? The boy claimed he did not know, but it was clear he had suffered greatly in life. An orphan, raised on the streets, he was near death when I found him. Being an orphan myself, I took pity on the lad. I took him in, and eventually, in time, I took him under my wing. He was bright and learned quickly. More than anything, the boy was fascinated by my work and would tour the halls of Arkham with me. Perhaps it was growing among the suffering masses of Gotham, but his fascination soon became a passion. He believed in the good of this place and in me, and I dare say, with no heir of my own, I came to think of him as my own son, someone who would carry on my name and my work. Tomorrow is a new page, father, the boy would say, no matter how bad things seemed at the asylum. A private phrase to buoy my spirits. He was ever the optimist, even when he met Jack Doe. Jack was being punished for brutalizing yet another nurse. He taunted the boy, tried to get under his skin, ever a cruel joker, but still, the boy remained undeterred. Were the likes of Jack beyond our help? I confess, I started to wonder, especially when Jack escaped his cell 2 days later, when he held the boy hostage. I did everything I could to talk Jack down. Thankfully, while Jack was cunning, he wasn't stupid. He knew killing the boy would result in instant death. I was just happy to get the boy back. Even as I hugged him, I knew the light in him had only been strengthened, as we see Jack being brutalized by the guards for what he had done. As we get back to the conversation between this man and Amadeus, as he sees Arkham does still get patients, just not as many as they used to. As he says, I must give you credit, Dr. Arkham. Through all the ups and downs of this place, you still managed to keep things afloat, even after the most infamous incident of all. And Amadeus pretends to not know what he's talking about, but this man is done playing games. Of course you do, Doctor. As you have done your homework on me, so too have I done mine on you and this facility. So please, Doctor, let's not continue to insult my intelligence and discuss the true reason this institution's reputation has suffered for decades. Tell me about the breakout. As Amadeus goes over the bloody details. 1886. It was all due to a damned careless orderly. I had warned the fool time and time again. Whatever you do, do not get too close to the inmates. His keys were taken. His throat was slashed from ear to ear with a sharpened toothbrush. And he was but the first. He released a number of his fellow inmates, and they made their way down to the furnace room, deciding against confronting the armed guards at the front doors. Whatever the case, they quietly worked through the night, dug out a tunnel from behind the furnace, and just like that, they were gone. Waking the next day to see this nightmare, I knew Jack had done it. I could almost hear him laughing. That man who loved nothing more than to torch the world. It was a revelation that made my heart stop, because I knew Jack. I knew who he would target before making his escape. I knew. My son was lost to me forever. Tomorrow is a new page. That phrase of his came back to me over and over, but his story was over. I never forgave myself for the breakout, and for what happened as a result. To cope, I converted an old storeroom and created this, a record of my own shame. The breakout was hidden from the papers to prevent panic. Sick people under Jack's tutelage, twisted toward crime. There were robberies, murders. Eventually, all were brought back to this place. All except him, the man I referred to as Jack Doe. The man I've come to believe would become the world's most notorious serial killer, Jack the Ripper. A man who might be more than human, but evil itself. A smiling demon, a hellish jokester. The timeline fits the MO, but the man cuts him off. Yes, Doctor, I'm well aware of your works on the subject. Speaking of which, the furnace room. I'd like to see it. As Amadeus tells him, nearly 60 years ago now, and I haven't been down here since. If I'm being honest about it, I just couldn't face it. And the man realizes the wall they used to escape has been built over. But there's another part of the wall that's also been built over that makes him curious. And Amadeus says he hasn't noticed it. As the man responds, ever wonder what else you never noticed, Doctor? As he leaned in and whispered something in his ear, something that stopped Amadeus cold. And before he could respond, the man says, you don't have to see me out, Doctor. I love the place. That night, I could not sleep. I must have heard him wrong, my buyer, but part of me knew I had not. And so I woke and wrote these words, this desperate cry to anyone who might hear it. I shall put this journal in the post as soon as I'm done. But before I do that, I will go down into the dark one more time to prove what I already know. I shall remove the bricks and find what I know to be there. The horrible truth. That truth might be my legacy, but this place will not be. As we see, he takes the teddy bear from his long dead son and burns Arkham Asylum to the ground. All the inmates and orderlies burn to death, screaming in agony. And so I send this journal to you, Captain Flass of the Gotham City Police Department. I only pray it reaches you in time to stop him. The man who laughs from the dark. Not Jack Doe, but him. The boy, the one I once called my son. The boy who once pretended to believe in this place, in healing the sick, but who never did. See, it was Jack Doe's body I found behind that wall, not the boy's. Because it was the boy all along, the voice in Jack Doe's ear, the hand at his cell lock, the knife at his throat. For that's what the man, my buyer, whispered to me. That phrase only we two knew, the same one on the note left by Jack's body. Tomorrow's a new page. The boy did it all just to make a fool of me, my hopes, my beliefs. He's the monster, the one laughing in the dark, always laughing, as we see Amadeus slowly burning to death. And now he has come to buy this place. I can see it in his eyes, the terror he will make. Instead of a place to heal the sick, a place to make monsters. You must stop him. The man called Jack Grimm, otherwise, God have mercy on us all. Signed, Amadeus Arkham. And all of this gets a simple heh out of the Joker, warming up to this man, coming at his doorstep, creating a father-son relationship with him, all to obliterate his hopes and dreams, to come back years later, to make him lose all hope, causing him to end his own life and burn everything he believed in down to the ground. All of this gets a simple chuckle out of the Joker. He is pure evil, as we see him walking into another room. And in this room, he's watching Batman stop a bank robbery with one of his men, as he tells him, "You're watching our target." They call him the Batman. He's a former patient here, believe it or not, one who escaped, or so he thinks. And this man believes Joker's playing with his food and wants to know what's next, but Joker has many plans. And this man is not impressed. He doesn't see Batman as a real threat, as we see the bloody mess he's left behind stopping these bank robbers. He believes he can handle Batman easily, and Joker also agrees. But before he does that, we see some of his plans. Kirk Langstrom, Pamela Isley, Hugo Strange, Jonathan Crane, Basil Carlo, and Jervis Tetch. And the first two coming for the Batman are Absolute Man-Bat and Absolute Poison Ivy. But this man believes none of this is necessary, as Joker tells him, "Don't worry, you'll get your chance soon enough. Everything in due time, my Deathstroke." So on top of all these other absolute villains coming for the Batman, we know at the head of all of this is Deathstroke himself, literally looking like Dracula. So now we have the origins of Arkham Asylum, the origins of Ark M, and yet another example of Joker being an immortal entity of pure evil. And this is the end of the issue. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was amazing, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Although the Joker is my favorite villain, I think Absolute Joker might have him beat in terms of writing. It's like they took the mystique that used to make Joker really cool before they started to overdo it, and they focused solely on that. We used to get these hints that maybe Joker is more than human, but now we know at the end of the day he really is just a crazy man. But they took it a step further. This is not just a crazy man, and this dude is absolutely not human. He really does go beyond crazy. He goes beyond evil. It feels like he's doing all these terrible things for a reason, and we still don't know what it is. We still don't even know what he is. And all of this makes him so much more interesting than current Joker, especially since it feels like he's got a point to prove. Like he wants you at your worst, at your lowest, completely hopeless, and he works to get you there. He gets in your head. This version of the Joker is like the devil himself, and I think it is written perfectly. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one.